Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do your February the 8th spiritual principle a day in a meditation. If you need to reach me, feel free to do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Here we are. Okay. Willing to walk in faith. When we show up for life with willingness and an open mind, the next right thing tends to present itself. That's taken from the Living Clean book, chapter 3. Spirituality is practical. I have a full, rich life in recovery, a member shared to knowing nods. But I'm facing some decisions about what comes next for me. I'm willing to do the next right thing if only I knew what that is. The options are all good. So, how do I figure out what God's will is for me? After the meeting, some more experienced NA members offered their insights on steps 3 and 11. I would freak out trying to really know, if my choices align with my higher power's will, one member shared. I was told, if you're looking for a burning bush, you're going to be disappointed. When we're dealing with clear-cut questions of right and wrong, should I steal this candy or pay for it? The next right thing is obvious. But looking for one correct response to life's multifaceted dilemmas can be paralyzing. The member continued, I came to understand that step 3 is all about my decision. My willingness to work the rest of the steps is that decision in action. My job is to show up, be willing, and do the work in front of me. So long as I'm plugged into the steps, I can trust my intuition. I used to pray to know God's will for me too, another member confessed. My sponsor pointed out that self-centeredness had distorted my hearing. Step 11 isn't about me. It's about us. She went on to explain how a focus on us broadened her perspective. It changed my outlook and influenced how I pray and meditate. That made it easier to live by principles and to listen to my heart, trusting that my choices would enrich my ability to serve. Viewing life through a wide-angle lens puts our decisions within a larger context filled with love, support, and service. When we practice willingness and awareness, even our missteps expand our usefulness to others. When we're spiritually fit, doing the next right thing doesn't have to be complicated. We find the willingness to walk in faith, knowing that we'll be all right. People like saying, when one door closes, another opens. As NA members, we become better equipped to navigate hallways with multiple doors, some leading nowhere, others to new worlds, and all of them preparing us to serve. I am willing to be guided by my higher power today. I will make principled decisions and take positive action, secure in the knowledge that my service will be enhanced. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. What a powerful meditation. Spirituality is practical. You know why? I believe that to be so. I had a lot of information. I had so much information, so much knowledge that the lines became blurred. Even though I had that basic awareness, of what's acceptable. I had the basic awareness of what's right and wrong. That only took me so far, because then when I realized that I was in charge of this ship of mine, right? I'm piloting with God. I realized that God is at the helm of this ship. I realized that today. But I was also confused with just how much freedom having God in my life would give me. I thought, oh, I'm not using anymore. I don't have to do that. I can do this. I got money to do this now. I'll do this. My substance that laid there as my foundation for the decisions I was making was just that I'm not getting high anymore. I can do what I want to do. And I could. I did. But the ability to be free and make decisions, as people say, freedom isn't free. Every action has a reaction. It's the domino effect. You make one decision and a ton of other decisions come along with that. And so it wasn't that I didn't know that, stealing candy was right or wrong. I knew that was wrong. But if I saw that you were with somebody that I wanted to be with, flirting with your man didn't mean anything to me. I didn't think that was wrong. I was thought in my mind, if he's weak enough to be pulled from someone that has been with him forever, then she apparently must be doing something wrong. That was a crazy justification for some very ill behavior. And these are things that took place with me being clean. I'm not bragging. No, 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 no. Don't get it twisted. I'm not bragging. I don't look on any of that stuff that I did when I first came in. No, I don't look at that and like, oh, that was wonderful. No, it wasn't. It wasn't spiritual and it wasn't practical. The point that I'm making is that just because I had the information didn't mean that I necessarily had the wisdom, right? On how to apply that information. That's where I was faulty. So today, we have choices. We have a ton of choices, but the ones that we make in the spirit of the step three, turning our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood them. And step 11, through prayer and meditation, maintain conscious contact, right? With the God of our understanding, asking for knowledge of his will and the power and strength to carry it out. And I'm paraphrasing. Don't get hung up on words. Go find step 11 and read it. Between step 3 and step 11 can be the longest journey, or it can be the shortest. It depends on how you position your heart. Through humility, from step 3 to step 11 can be a beautiful interaction, submerging those spiritual principles of surrender, trust, faith, hope, resiliency. These can bring these spiritual principles together, 3 and 11. But there's that little section in between that's going to require you to be very honest about your patterns and the way that you've acted, the decision, the exact nature behind your wrongs, right? Your decisions, understanding what they were, recognizing when they being willing to make amends to people that you owe amends to, including yourself, and doing it directly, not avoiding it, but doing it, except for when to do so would hurt them or others, right? And then monitoring for a period of time on a daily basis and checking yourself every day. Step 10. How did I perform today? How did things go down for me today? Did I act out on this? Did I do this well? Getting in the habit of holding yourself accountable to the spiritual principles that you say you believe in. And through prayer, and if you don't pray, through meditation or whatever means you use to connect with your higher power. Sometimes my journaling is my prayer. Sometimes my workout is my prayer. Sometimes my sauna sessions are my prayer. Because it's in those moments that I'm able to pour out what's going on with me, and I am waiting and listening attentively to my higher power. And I get the direction in that step 11. And not only do I get the knowledge of my God's will, but I also get the strength, the power, the mechanism, the strategy to walking that thing out. So developing faith and willing to walk in faith requires that you do some work between that step 3 and 11. Because now we want to practice having faith. I tell people faith is just like a muscle. The more you exercise your faith, the stronger your faith is going to be. Some people have a small amount of faith, but it's enough faith to get them through day to day without picking up, or to get them through a loss, or to get them through a financial crisis. It's enough faith to get them through to their next stage. Some people have a whole lot of faith for, say, maybe their education. They know academically they can get through. However, they do not have faith to believe that they're going to get their children back. You see that? Do you see that faith is one of those things that can change depending on the situation? So why not practice it in every situation and allow yourself to see where you need to exercise that faith muscle more for this particular situation, more for your marriage, more for your children. Maybe you need to exercise it more for your financial situation. Maybe you need to change your job and you don't have enough faith to just, give your 2 weeks notice, even though they're harassing you. But you have enough faith to believe that your son could go away off to college and be okay without you and a debit card, right? Start comparing your acts of faith to one another and begin to see where you need to develop it. I could go on about faith for a long time, guys. I love you so much. Thank you for listening. I hope that you have a beautiful day on purpose. I know that you can, and I believe in you. I'll be talking to you soon.